Okay, the surprise is kind of ruined because I already tested it out, but here's the mechanism. Right now it is magnetically locked in place, but let me just carefully push it forward. Push it down like this. Magnets. This magnet focus. This magnet slides off of the magnet attached to the gun frame. And this part slides back. Hold on. Slides back. These magnets lock in place with the magnets on the inside of this. Sort of. And this part just comes back and locks in place. Bam! Isn't that cool? Is that fucking cool? Yeah. And of course, and then carefully go like this. And at this point, it's hanging over a little bit, and you just push it down. Yeah. That's pretty dope. Awesome design. I just need to print and then assemble this one front thing that goes on top, and then it'll all be perfect. But yeah, overall this 3D model, this whole thing, seriously, like this is legit. Like, how cool is that? And then the muzzle part would flip up and then lock and it would contour with this part. Yeah, pretty dope. Dang, bro, that's a thick boy right there. Okay, this 3D model is brought to us by RWBY. I gotta say, this whole build, this entire 3D model, is very top tier. Like, pretty much 99% of all the pieces fit together really well with pretty much perfect tolerances. A few tricks here and there for optimizing assembly. But aside from that, A+, like definitely A+. Not only that, but this guy's got some pretty good list of instructions and tips on the summary as well, especially with the hardware list. So yeah, there's definitely top tier. You won't find too much difficulty in the 3D printing step, but I would recommend, if you're able to, print in PETG. If not all the parts, then at least this part, the one titled upper handle, in PETG, because this little nub here, this is going to experience quite a bit of stress. And so in order to avoid that little nub part from breaking off, you're going to want it to print it out of something a bit tougher than PLA. So PETG is my definite go-to for that. For the very large pieces, you're definitely going to need to slice them using any of your simple, free, basic slicing software, or any other 3D modeling software that has slicing capability. Right now I have Autodesk Mesh Mixer up, and here's the 3D model for the sheath. You're going to need to do the same thing for the blade part because it's quite long, and the majority of 3D printers out there just aren't tall enough. But either way, yeah, pretty simple. Just plain cut, slice it in half. Be sure to keep both, and then separate shells, and then you got your two pieces. Save them separately, but keep your original 3D model. Otherwise, you'll have to re-download it. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Remember to print in the best orientation to avoid supports. That way you can save a bit of filament. Once again, this 3D model was very good. Everything fit together quite well with pretty much perfect tolerances. You would not believe how uncommon that is, actually. But yeah, I would definitely say this is a good 3D printing project for anyone who's a RWBY fan or is interested in cosplaying Blake Belladonna, or if you have a friend who's going to be cosplaying as the character, and this would make a really great gift for them. Having a thin ratchet strap or Velcro strap would be very useful for attaching to the end of the handle and the looping into the sheath. Doing it fairly tight will prevent it from falling out whenever you're walking around at cons or just whatever. I will note that the sheath is quite sturdy and very swingable. The sword itself is not very swingable. You can get away with some stabby motions, but it's definitely not swingable. That aside, I don't really have much else to say. If there's any particular 3D printing projects you want me to try out, just shoot it down in the comment section. Subscribe if you want to watch more, and I will see ya!